Yeah, the ticket.
Who's going to see Smash Mouth tonight at the Western Idaho Fair? Who's going to see Spin Doctors at the Western Idaho Fair tonight? Who's going to see Sheryl Crow on Thursday at the Albertsons Boise Open? How about Joan Jett Friday? How about Weezer on Saturday? A lot of concerts coming around here, Prater. Bart Hendricks, Boise State Hall of Famer, was in our building earlier today picking up a couple of Weezer tickets.
Nice.
See, he autographed. We and Prater have this nerdy thing in our clubhouse. We call it the Row Paint Studio. Bart Hendricks, we have this thing where if you're famous and you come in here, we make you sign it, kind of a nerdy thing we do. But Bart signed it and he wrote HOF below his name.
Nice.
If you were in a Hall of Fame, is that how Mike Prater would sign stuff?
Probably not.
I don't think you would.
Probably not.
Do you think I would?
Yes.
Don't you love how his tone when he says that? Like, yes. All right. Prater, there was an announcement today, Kalen Bohr at his press conference, and we actually have audio of that. Let's get to this. Is Kalen DeBoer, head football coach, Washington Huskies, earlier today, breaking this national college football news, and certainly something Boise State fan you want to pay attention to.
A couple guys, unfortunately, that would be out for the season. Guard Memelar will be out. Kind of ruled that here in the last day or two that he'll be out, and Cam Davis will be out for the season, unfortunately. So both those guys, injuries that just won't be able to come back from, and obviously high guy priorities in our program. Teammates love them. Our hearts are certainly with them, but they'll be here supporting us, and they got a good mindset about them. Sean Toomey Stout is just medically not able to play, so he'll DQ here from our program as well. But those guys will be around and helping us out. And they're always welcome here. Sean as well, just a first-class individual, loving to death. So wanted to make sure those announcements. Everyone else, I think, is day-to-day, maybe a week-to-week guy, but everyone else I think is on track to be able to play this season.
What happened? You talked about him? It seemed like
he just at the end of the week last week got dinged up, and so I don't want to get into too much. It's a lower half injury. So yeah. He'll have to have surgery. Both of them have surgeries this week.
Hey, wanker, turn the lawnmower off in the background. You hear that, Prater?
I did.
What the hell's going on out here? First off, let's start with the local tie-in. Guard Slippy
Memelar.
Guard Memelar. He's
Who plays
name.
guard?
Yeah.
Guard Memelar.
I love it. Guard the guard. He's got some local ties?
Yeah, he's from Middleton High School, a big-time prospect for them, young kid. Played just a little bit last year, was certainly in the rotation this year. Wasn't supposed to start this year, but I think he was getting second-team reps at guard. So, unfortunately for him in his career, as it was continuing to grow, that's a big hit for a local kid. So, probably one of his dreams come true. I don't want to speak for him, but I'm guessing that he was very much looking forward to the Boise State game and having his hometown team in his new stadium and showing them what kind of thing he's putting on, and very unfortunate for him and his family.
Absolutely. And the other one, Boise State fan really wants to pay attention to, and heck, college football fan, as Kalen DeBoer just announced, Cameron Davis, who's a running back for the Washington Huskies. Matter of fact, he is their returning yardage leader at that position at 659 scrimmage yards last year, Prater. But how about this? 13 teeters, man. I mean, I don't know how big a deal this is, but like I said earlier, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's definitely a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. First of all, it might even be a bad thing for Boise State.
What?
You lose a very productive running back, but you got a quarterback and two All-American wide receivers. Why wouldn't you just throw the ball to them more?
More targets for the better players?
Yeah, explosive targets, explosive players, explosive plays. Cam Davis is not a big explosive player. And maybe this opens up, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but maybe this opens up more explosive plays for the pass game for Penix and his two wide receivers. The University of Washington has about 4 or 5 other running backs that are right behind him in terms of this depth chart. So I mean, they're not proven like Cam Davis was in terms of his 13 touchdowns last year, but they were going to be big rotation guys anyway. So I think that they can plug in 3 or 4 of these backup guys and stick them in there. And 3 of these 4 backup guys are transfers. I mean, big time transfers, Power 5 transfers from Nebraska, from Mississippi State, from Arizona State. So these are good running backs. I think the running back room at the University of Washington is still really, really good. It just might not have that stat sizzle that it had last year with Cam Davis and his 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, think about this. If you want to talk about who's next, Prater, we did our research. We crunched some numbers on the running back room up there on Montlake, and I'll go what you said. I'll just start with the Mississippi State transfer. Prater, Dylan Johnson, he's played 35 SEC college football games, right? He's played 35 games. This guy is very experienced at that position. He was never the main guy in Mike Leach's offense, but he was a very usable piece, and he has 2 years left, I might add. So he came to Washington to play a couple years and hopefully take this to an NFL thing. Overall, from 2020 to 2022, the 3 years he's been a part of that Mississippi State program, a little over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, and very versatile. Catch the ball. He's a great pass blocker, according to Kalen DeBoer. Does everything very, very well. He also missed spring ball and has had 2 knee surgeries in the last 12 months. So maybe if you're looking for the weakness, that's where the weakness is. That This guy has got fragile knees, 2 surgeries. Both of them were minor. He didn't have complete total tears, but 2 minor knee surgeries in the last 12 months. Missed spring ball, but here he is all of a sudden. Mr. Johnson is the new starting running back for the University of Washington, and I think he brings a versatility to the position that maybe Cam Davis didn't. So I think that's a wash at best for the Huskies.
Who else you got?
Well, they also like a couple of other dudes. The Newton kid, he's a 6th-year player, not very productive. The Nixon kid is a Nebraska transfer. He might be pretty darn good, but he only had 89 yards last year. I think they're counting on him an awful lot. He's a sophomore. He got some starting reps in spring practices, and he's gotten some starting reps in fall camp too. So Will Nixon, probably Dylan Johnson. I would count on a heavy dose of Dylan Johnson and Will Nixon coming at you. Neither one of them are going to scare you, but I think both of them are serviceable, and certainly Washington's offense does not start there. It starts with Michael Penix throwing the football to his 2 All-American wide receivers. I think Washington's run game is going to be just fine.
Yeah, there's another guy I looked up too, number 21, Daniel Ngata. He was the Arizona State transfer, Prater.
Yep.
Played 25 games with the Sun Devils over his career, 787 all-purpose yards, or scrimmage yards, I should say, 6 touchdowns. So he's played. He was a Herm Edwards recruit there in Tempe. And Kalen DeBoer and this offense, they have a little bit of everything. I don't think they have anybody that's great. And heck, I wouldn't even have said Cameron Davis is great, right?
No.
I mean, he was serviceable, and this team scored so many points last year, Prater. I believe they were 7th in the country. They were 7th in the country in scoring last year. They had 516 points in 14 games, the Washington Huskies did. So they're just they were giving out touchdowns for free, like some of those old Boise State teams that you covered. So Cam Johnson had 13 touchdowns there.
Yep.
But a lot of guys scored a lot, but oh man, this offense, as you pointed out, they're going to pass the ball a lot more than they're going to throw it, like they did last year. Boise State, not the case. Do you still expect Boise State to run the ball more than they throw the ball? This is a new offense. Bush is not running what Dirk ran.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be significantly different. I really don't. I think there's going to see some wrinkles here and there. You're not going to see a brand new offense per se. You're going to see some Bush hand him. So yeah, they're going to run the ball more than they pass it. Absolutely.
Yeah, they did last year. Significantly.
Yeah, most teams do.
Do they still in college football? Yeah, NFL. There's only like 1 or 2 teams that do it every year. That's more of a passing league. But you're right. In college, there's 133 FBS programs right now. So they're doing that. Good stuff, man. Washington Huskies still favored. I think the spread's 15 or so. We talked about it last week, and
I don't think the Cameron Davis loss is going to
affect the spread.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we can check. I don't know if you can check your your site real quick, but I would suspect that Cameron Davis, it's a big deal. I love the way you put it. It's a deal, but I'm not sure it's quite a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I'm just going to leave there. 14.5. I just saw it. That's the spread. So it has came down, but that's not because of Cameron Davis. I think it's been there. Didn't this open at like 16.5, Prater?
Something like that.
I think that tells me that the money is a lot of people are betting Boise State to keep this thing close. Everybody we've had on, Petros Papadakis told us yesterday he expects this thing to be close.
Yep.
Dave Softy Mahler up in Seattle told us last week he's not, what did he say? I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. I don't know what he was referencing there, but yeah.
I think it's going to be close. I think Washington wins this game, but I think it's going to be an 8 to 12 point football game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Can Boise State drop 30 on the Dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This offense, I want to see the running game get going. Obviously, the offensive line has to get going. And gosh, I wish we had a resource, maybe someone who's coached for both programs that could come on this show and maybe talk about this game a little bit. Oh, wait, we're less than 48 hours. Actually, how about this? Because we're probably going to be 5 o'clock, right? In 48 hours, Chris Peterson is going to be on this show.
Nice.
Listening to us loudmouth, but
nice.
Isn't that crazy?
Looking forward to that.
Chris Peterson on Idaho Sports Talk on Thursday. That'll be on our app. That'll be on our website. And that's going to be a terrific one. Let me just throw this out there. Maybe give us some ammo for feedback finale. We got Kellen Moore a couple months ago. We're getting Chris Peterson on Thursday. Boise State fan, who should be next, right? Who would like the Mount Rushmore or whatever be? Prater hates the Mount Rushmore reference, by the way. I love it. Who would the next big guest be? Who do you want? Text us, 208-424-9300. Prater in the ball game, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, The Ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.